Hi everyone, welcome to our next instalment in this Ivy series. It's quite a long series, but I'm enjoying it. I hope it's fun for you guys as well. Now we have this very pretty looking flower today, and I decided that it might be fun to combine a couple of colours together. So this is the lavender and the purple light from the Castle Art Soft Touch set, and I thought I would just have a little play at mixing the colours together, having a bit of fun really, and just showing you how to do it. So it doesn't really matter which you start with and whether you start in the centre or on the edge. I'm going to start in the centre with the purple light, just because that's what I want to do. I hope the page isn't too dark. It's really sunny in here on the camera, so I think it's adjusting, but the sun hasn't come round onto the book yet. It's a little bit awkward. I wonder whether if I pull the blind a little bit, whether it might help things or not. Let's have a look. The light may then adjust to it being a bit darker. It's quite yellowy now, isn't it? But I think it looks sharper. Hang on. Yeah, let's go with that. So purple light I'm going to be using, and as I say, I'm going to start in the centre. Now these little dots I'm going to do with black, and so I'm going to leave them to the end, because if I do them with black pencil now I could end up smudging them. So I'm going to do a fairly hard layer at the bottom, and then I want to reduce the amount of pencil that I put down as I go up towards the edge of the petal, because we're going to start mixing them together at sort of at the central point, I guess, of the petal. So I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge. You see how I have faded it, and I'm going to do the same on every petal. So just putting down a few more layers near the centre. Unless, excuse me, unless, I don't know what happened to my voice, unless as we go out to the edge. Now we've got a little bit, we've got some overturned leaves. I'm going to deal with those later. I haven't really thought about what I'm doing with those now. I feel cold now I've shut the blind. The sun isn't coming in. But anyway. I can't decide today whether I'm hot or cold, whether I need a cardigan on or not. When I got up this morning and went downstairs to prepare breakfast, I took a cardigan with me because it's colder in the kitchen. It actually felt warmer down there, which is really weird. The radiators were on, but they were through the whole house. But in this office, the radiator isn't working. I think the pin has got stuck. We haven't had the radiator on for a long time when we weren't using the office. We were using it for storage, lavender, and things were stored against the radiator. So I'm doing the reverse here, so darker on the edge, lots of layers. You can see I've really built them up, and then starting to reduce as we go towards the centre of the petal. And mixing in with the other colour and taking it down beyond the centre, probably down to where the circular seeds are, like that. I'm just going to build that up a little more. So yes, we had things against the radiator, so we turned it off, and it doesn't seem to want to go back on. But I sure have a fiddle with it. It's, you know, it's a warm time of year, so we don't really need the heating on, but you get the occasional cold night and it comes on. And the heating is set on a thermostat, so it just comes on and off depending on how warm it is in the downstairs hallway, really. And each radiator also has the thermostat, so then that they work independently too. But we like our house quite warm. But I did turn the thermostat down this recently when the prices went up. I figured that because part of the reason we're lucky we could afford the higher prices. My husband had a pay rise. I know a lot of people didn't, so we felt very fortunate, and it meant that we were okay when it came to the additional costs, but because he doesn't work for a UK company, Purple Light, so they weren't having the same sort of struggles as companies in the UK were with prices and different things. But I still turned it down because I felt that part of the reason prices were going up was because supply is tricky at the moment. So I figured that if we use less, it helps everybody. You know, if there's less demand, then that's going to help all people. So apart from the energy companies themselves, because they obviously want us to use as much as possible. So I just turned it down a little bit, and it's been fine. Nobody's complained. Lavender, I only turned it down by about 1 degree or half a degree, I can't remember. So we can just keep on mixing the colours one on top of the other until we feel that we've got a really nice mix, a nice blend, and until we can't see any white paper, or not so much. Or you can use a blending pencil to help you. I haven't quite worked out which the best blending pencil is for Castle Arts yet, and I think it also depends on the paper that you're using as to which blender works better. So it makes it a little bit tricky, but it's okay. It's nice to have fun and sort of play with different things. I'm lucky I've got a selection to play with. I actually find the Derwent blender is one of the better ones for working with multiple brands, but it isn't completely see-through. It leaves a slightly yellowy deposit on the page, which is okay for some pictures, but if you want a sort of white or something and it goes slightly yellowy, it's not going to really work. I'm going to go back in with the Purple Light because this one, look, is not as vibrant as this one, and I'm just gonna, it's probably going to be my final layer. We're just trying to add a little vibrancy so they look similar. It doesn't matter if they don't look identical because petals aren't going to always look the same as each other. That isn't the way nature works. There we go. Now for these turned over petals, I think I'm going to keep with the Purple Light because we've got the lavender at the top of here, and I think it will just add a nice contrast, but I'm going to do it gently first, a really light layer, and just put that down and just have a look and think that's too pale, but what are we going to do? I think we'll make it slightly darker at the bottom where we think it might be shadowed, so down near the bottom of the page basically, as if the light's coming from the top of the page. You don't have to go out with the lines like I did, that's completely optional. Right, black. Now I'm not entirely convinced it's going to sit on top of this amount of layers. I'm going to try, but it may be that I need a black pen. So this is the Ivory Black, and I'm just going to give it a go. Oh, I nearly coloured the flower below, which you can't see. It's very pretty on below. Oh, I think we're going to get it to work. That's nice. Johanna's paper is lovely in that although it's not really toothy, so you don't have to put down a million layers to get it to show up, it still has enough to allow you to layer up a lot, so that's rather good. So we can get that black in there. There we go. I actually thought it might be fun to make the black, the centre black as well. So sort of starting at the bottom here. I'm thinking it's going to be lighter across the centre somehow. So I'm just going to fade that black up a little bit and make it a little bit dark here as well. Make it lighter on the top. I'm not sure if this is going to look right, but if I start off light, I can sort of see. I want enough black on there. I'm going to sharpen my black. I really need to get into some detailing. So on each little piece, I'm going to just take that colour up. I don't want the dark area of black to be quite so dark here because we won't see all of it, because it almost looks like we're looking up from this side from underneath. So I'm just going to not sure how, I think I need a little more coming from this side. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, now leaves. Now with a purpley pinky plant, I always feel that a bluey green leaf works quite well. I feel like I want something quite dark on this particular plant. I don't know why, I just think my head's saying that's going to work. So I'm going to start with the Viridian, which is one of my darkest greens, I think. And I want it really dark in here where there will be some shadow from the petals, and in the centre here, and then I'm just going to sort of fade it towards the edges of the leaf. This is a little bit different to what we may have done with some of the others, so really trying to emphasize that there might be a dip down in the centre of that leaf. It may not quite come off, but I think it'll still look okay. So sort of putting in some green across all of the leaf, or most of it, leaving the edges bare, but really emphasising the black lines and the edge like that. And now I think I'm going to go with the Prussian Green. Okay, and I'm just going to fill in the gaps really with a light layer and see how it looks. I don't think this is as bluey green as I expected it to be. But I'm still going to work with it. Again, trying to build up more layers near the centre and near the actual flower, sorry. So a little bit all over, and then just building up around here, just sort of extending that deep colour from the middle. And we still have sort of pale edges, which we can fill in, I think, with the Pthalo Green. If we put a layer over the whole thing, it should make it look a little more bluey. So I'm only trying to do quite a light layer, particularly over where, oops, over the edge, particularly where we've already got quite a deep layer of Viridian. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with my Viridian to sort of go over and emphasise the areas that I want really dark, because I think it's got lost a little bit. This is where layering up and taking a little bit of an extra time can make a difference. And now I'm going to use the Prussian Green. I'm really just going over those areas that I did before. Gosh, the sun is bright. I thought having natural light would be an advantage, but now I'm not so sure as to whether it is or not. But I hope that the video comes out okay. Last bit again with the Pthalo Green. I'm just going to fiddle around the edges. Now I have gone over the lines in there and it's going to be almost impossible for me to remove that. Now what some people do is if they keep going over the lines all the time, they use a black pen for a background, like a black Posca or something, and then they can hide it. But I'm not intending, on doing a background. I'm going to use the white Gellyroll, Sakura, with the small nib, just to make a little dot in the centre of each of these. You may want to do this with a black pen, as I said before you go over it with a white, just to really make them stand out, but I thought they were okay as they were, and I think the white dots just bring attention to them, and somehow they look like they're sitting up from the flower, and I don't really know why. I think that's just because of the way that Johanna has drawn them, but I'm just having a look and I think I am happy and done with that one. So I'm going to draw this to an end. So thank you so much for watching. Interestingly, my dots have gone pink because there's pink pigment underneath the black and it's picked it up. But I don't mind. It's still, it doesn't really show that pink and it still just shows up the flower, which is nice. You could use glitter. I know we've used glitter on a couple if you want to. Instead of white, but I made the decision to use white today. Yes, so that's me. So I hope that was okay for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.